Hello and welcome back to another episode of Shower Beers.
Yeah.
This week we want to talk to you about the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of it's still going on, right?
the more like the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Well, I don't think it was limp. Actually, I think that's what caused.
No,
them
so that's what we were talking about. Is the Frenchman right before we started the program? There was the French pole vaulter who was going to win, except for then he fucking hit the pole, hit the stick with his junk,
his wiener. His
name
wiener
is
caught
actually
it.
his name is actually Big Wee Wee.
Big
Wee wee.
He thought the audience was just chanting yes at him.
Yeah, like yes.
No, it's your wee, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Back in his early career days, he actually saved a lot of money by not needing to buy a pole to pole vault. He would just swing his, tripod of a dick, and that was actually how he got into pole vaulting.
I think in the future Olympics that there's going to be more male athletes with just like prosthetics in their pants, so they all look like they have a big.
Right?
Big,
No, he has the most famous penis in the world right now.
I just want
sure.
the track and field people. And they're like singlet things. Like just one guy has like a prosthetic penis that's like so ridiculously large, and he's running. They're like, oh, he's way bigger than the French guy.
This is something that they say about voice actors: is you might not know their name, but you know their voice.
Right.
So this guy, you don't know his name, but you know his penis.
You'll know it when you see it.
But yeah.
He's gonna get kicked off the team though. It's just like we can't have this kind of liability.
Well, and not a liability. Also, he took all of the attention. Like I hope that somebody else on the team did really well, but they are just completely upstaged by this man's jump.
Right. Like the other guy won. Like he won the competition.
Sure, but we all care about this guy. Same thing with like a shooter. What was it like shooting?
The
guy
second
from
place
Turkey.
guy.
Second place. Everybody knows the
guy,
second place guy. Nobody knows.
hitman.
Nobody knows who won.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm sure that people do, but like again, we're the most like casual people. I caught some of what I was watching the Olympics before a show that we did at Cooper's Tap Room, and I was watching the TV, and they had ping pong on the TV, and in no other context other than a world competition that happens once every 4 years.
Oh yeah, we were watching.
Would I be watching ping pong? And I verbally said out loud, I think ping pong athletes are the only Olympic athletes that I probably get more pussy than.
Yeah.
I get laid, and then like it showed like a dude in a bowl cut. I'm like, that's not the haircut of a guy who fucking has ever eaten pussy.
No.
Oh.
Do you guys know the Rugrats in Paris?
Do I know them?
Were they in the Olympics this year?
They weren't at the Olympics
also
this
made
year, no. But they had like an orange VHS that was Rugrats in Paris.
Oh, I love that Kanye song, Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the radio. The radio edit.
No, wouldn't that have been? I was to say that would have been the Kids Bop version, or like no, if they had done that for the actual Rugrats in Paris movie. If you don't know like what we're referring to, we're not going to say it on the air. So do your own research.
Yeah. Do some research.
Look up Kanye Rugrats in Paris.
Was it Kanye or was it Jay-Z?
I think it's Kanye.
Oh, I don't know. Courtney, you're going to be our on the spot. Can you look up who did the song Rugrats in Paris?
But with the other word.
With the right title.
It's Kanye. I'm putting it down. It's Kanye.
It is. Is there a Jay-Z song with a similar title?
I don't know. I don't know my hip hop.
So it is. Yeah, it is.
You were so confident, Summer.
Well, no. Isn't that what Kanye is going by now?
Amount of doubt.
No, so we were both right. Because Ye is what Kanye is going by now. Yeah, so it was Jay-Z. But it was on.
Both.
But just to be correct, was it on Jay-Z's album or Kanye's album?
Yeah, whose album was it?
Oh. All right.
And that
10 push-ups. No, I'm just kidding.
That looked like you were
That did
doing
not
something
look
else.
like push-ups.
Yeah, that looked
I
like
know.
you
That's
were.
why I stopped it.
Sorry.
These aren't the push-ups you're looking for.
These are not the push-ups you're looking for.
I understood that reference.
All right.
Oh, speaking of, I understood that reference. That line is from a Marvel movie. I understood that reference. That's from Captain America,
Yes,
the original
yeah.
Avengers movie.
Yeah,
because like
yep.
that's
when he first comes back.
what is Tony Stark's actor's name?
Tony Stark.
Robert Downey
Jr. So he says something about flying monkeys, and Steve Rogers says, I understood that reference because that was a movie that came out back when he was
The
alive.
Wizard of Oz.
Right. Yes. Look at Summer. She's very proud.
That makes me so happy.
She put 2 and 2 into a calculator and got the 4. But we were talking about Marvel movies a little bit before this as well. Dave, you kind of brought up the topic.
I don't know if I'm fully correct on this, but it's like the Marvelization where like people are more excited about the characters being played than the actors that are actually in it. Because a lot of people, people would go see, like, even if you go further back, like Clint Eastwood's probably a good example.
Clint Eastwood, yes.
Harrison Ford's a good example. People go to Harrison Ford movie and those because it has Clint Eastwood or
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say, thinking about it more, I do think that Star Wars in that era of those, in even maybe more so, like Star Trek, but probably more Star Wars, they had characters that you never saw the person, like Darth Vader, you don't see him until like the very, episode 6, whatever, or 5, and he... like you would, I can't wait to see Darth Vader, and it's the same thing. Like I feel like a lot of people didn't know who Mark Hamill was until the most recent movie that he was in with Star Wars, even though everybody knows who Luke Skywalker is. Like, it's Luke Skywalker. And people back in the era probably knew who Mark Hamill was, but now
at the time of the original casting,
if you were probably a little bit younger than me, or my age when the 1, 2, and 3 came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. You didn't know, who Luke Skywalker was, but you didn't really, nobody thought of it I can't wait to see Mark Hamill in this. It's like, I can't wait to see
it depends on the actor. One. Like, some are so synonymous with one role.
Yeah, and it's typecasting.
Luke Skywalker is Mark Hamill's most prominent role by a mile, whereas some actors have, like Han Solo, Indiana Jones, the guy from The Fugitive for...
I thought you were saying Summer's role, not Some Are. So I was like, I totally know about Mark Hamill in the Cauldron movie. That was a cartoon. It was about a black cauldron. Do you guys know
what was that called?
It was a black cauldron. There was a little piggy that put their nose in the cauldron to do their magic spell, but also Mark Hamill was this weird.
Can you do the piggy in the cauldron motion again?
It was like the pig put
We're gonna clip that. We're gonna gift that right there
into the water, and the water was
still going,
magical. But
magical
water. I'm pretty sure Mark Hamill was like the little character.
He was like the little furry Smeagol thing.
He was a furry.
What was the movie? I don't even know.
The Black Cauldron.
The Black Cauldron.
Oh, that was it.
Yes, the Disney movie with the Black Cauldron.
I don't think I saw that.
It was so.
This is going to lead me into a rant.
Which
about Disney.
I love my voice actors.
This is going to lead me into because they are now doing a live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And they did pick Gal Gadot to play the bad character, the witch.
Oh, they did, Maleficent. That's a different story. So.
And but it's like they don't, they're not making anything original. They're just redoing all of their movies again.
That was something that we were talking about earlier. Was every movie. Well, not every movie because there's plenty, but it's based off of largely established characters. Like even the Barbie movie last year, I loved it, but and there's never a Barbie story that had ever been done really on movie, but the Barbie as characters, the Barbie as a concept was not original. Same with, again, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs remaking or retelling. They're doing another Lion King movie.
Yeah.
Again, how many Batman movies have there been? Superman
so
movies.
Many.
Spider-Man.
Has another one.
Yeah,
and then
there are these franchises where
these superhero franchises just restart
every 5 to 10 years. Why does every generation? Why do we need a Gen X Batman, a Gen Z Batman, a millennial Batman? Why do we need a?
I will say
why?
Not to poke holes in the Batman. I completely understand what you're saying. I will say I do like the choices they've made with Batman, but
they could have also just
weird.
No. I'm always anytime they're oh, we're gonna make a live action of this cartoon, they did that with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Don't like it.
Well, so they made a new Netflix series,
right?
which is okay. Apparently, I have not watched it myself. I heard it was okay from people. The M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out 10 years ago, god awful. And I'm just like, well, why do they even have to try to be like, oh, there's this successful cartoon, let's make a live action of it? I don't understand. I guess you have
it's
that
just
built-in
capitalizing
audience. You have
on
that built-in audience.
It's the formula. Like
Well,
there's something to be said about originality.
Well, like why
and
the
not
hell?
knowing if it's going to go over.
Like why can't people go, man, Star Wars was a great 3 movies. Yeah, it was, and just move on to a different.
Why isn't it good enough to play Avatar in your pool where the warm jet water comes out and you just be like,
Right, yeah. No.
I'm a water bender. And why isn't that enough? Why do we got to make a movie?
But why?
Great question.
Why can't we just play at home?
That is a question.
You raise a good point. When is it good enough? When
is it good
it's not good.
enough?
That's what I'm saying. There's the formula.
Well, I wish to death that they could just like let a good series or a good movie just be good. But then like when there's a good movie or a good series, they're like, ooh, but like what if we gave that side character their own spin-off series, or that
Right.
side character has to get their own little movie, or has to get their own cartoon, or has to get their own like then they do it to death. Like Star Wars had a main cast and characters, had a tight adventure of 3 movies back in the 70s and
Right.
80s, and then they decided to go fucking crazy and be like, oh, Anakin needs his own like thing. Obi-Wan needs his own series.
Right.
Ahsoka needs their own series. We have the Clone Wars, 2 cartoons of that. We have this whole thing, and then this bounty hunter. Like, why can't imaginations used to exist for that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
well,
people
and that's
used to
how
have
you, what I mean
imaginations.
is like the originality means you have no idea how it's going to go. Like you've had this
Right,
idea,
right.
and you're like, okay, a talented director, writer, cast,
now
whatever. Like they'll make this work, and it might go well, or we can take something that's already worked and piggyback off it, and we're already going to make money because somebody like. People that liked Star Wars were already going to go to this. They were going to get Disney Plus to watch the shows. Like they were going to, and I think DC and Marvel, they can do it because there's so many stories with different superheroes. Like,
but are they
started
usually
with
even
putting
that
them.
good? Are they? That good,
I
though?
actually really enjoyed DC's. More than their movies. I mean, Titans is a great. Doom Patrol is probably the most unique, funny one that I absolutely love. It's like adult Paw Patrol. No, no, but no. And then Marvel has had their really good ones that they ended. Which that I'm like, you guys just like Punisher, like the newer version of the series was really good.
I didn't know
And
that.
the character that the guy that had John Bernthal or something like that. That was a great series.
But in 10 years, they're going to remake that series.
I'm
right,
sure.
and they're going to bring him back, or they'll bring him, or they'll multiverse him back, or whatever. But the superhero side of things, I can agree with them doing different movies because like they're using superheroes that all are like the strongest ones. So it's like, of course, I understand that like Superman's going to get his own movie, and Batman should definitely get his own movie, and Spider-Man, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Everybody
But
gets their
I
own
will
movie.
say, excuse me, the
Nerd out.
the thing that DC, in my opinion, really messed up on was not capitalizing on Christian Bale's series of Batmans.
Right, that was weird.
It was like 10 years before Marvel even really was strutting their stuff.
No, not 10 years. No.
But I mean, Marvel was creating, but like they wait, like DC waited that long to like, oh hey, we have to make Justice League now.
I think that was weird because I think that the Dark Knight and then the Dark Knight Rises came out about 2009 and 2011 or so, like within a year or so of either one. And I would say by 2012 is like when the Avengers, I think, came out. Marvel
did it right though. They capitalized on every movie they made and created a whole storyline that eventually ended up into Endgame and Infinity War.
Right. It's and like Spider-Man movies were before that, and then Superman movies were before that. Like there were good superhero movies. It's just, man, I really wish they did not feel the need to go, okay, now this director and this generation are going to get their take on these characters. It's like, no, how about this generation of writers comes up with a new superhero to
That's
be.
why I love
like,
the boys. I mean, that's a totally
yes,
brand new thing that's like
they have some clear parodies.
Yeah, but I mean, you're always going to have that. It's a superhero. Like there's only so many superpowers that make sense. And
that's why they came up with superpowers that don't make sense.
Yeah, and the boys is
Some
great.
Of the boys' superpowers are so
but I will say
wild.
The Batman, that last one that with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I liked it. And I was like, okay,
right.
DC made a bit long, but it was good. And they picked. Let's see, the other thing that DC fucks up on is their villains. Their villains just suck.
Say, who was the Catwoman?
That was Zoe.
Zoe.
No, it was Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yes. Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
No, the Riddler character, like they sort of mimicked the Scarecrow character that from the Bale, but it was definitely the Riddler, and it wasn't wacky Riddler like Jim Carrey's. But I liked that movie a lot. Like the soundtrack was great, the storyline was good, and then they're like, "Well, this is going to be Otherworld. It's not going to be in the DCU."
We're just going to call this the nerd episode.
Right?
We're just going to call. We're going to keep this from the continuity.
It just makes. I just feel like they're making bad decisions.
Well, again, I'm just a big thing. Like, we don't need to hear the same characters with different stories, or the same characters with the same stories, because like a lot of times you go to a Marvel movie and then you go to with somebody who's fluent with the comics, and they're like, oh, they're doing Secret Wars, oh, they're doing this. It's like they're doing a story that's already been done, and it's not like necessarily like it's weird, because like books, if you have a book and then you take that to movie, that's an adaptation, where it feels like if you're doing that with a comic book, you've already seen the visual representation,
right? And
like, I don't know. You're not adapting it. You're straight up just.
I think it's tough with superhero stuff, because they already have these stories, and that's the ones they want to tell. Well, and that's the ones that people want to see.
I'm gonna remake the Titanic, and it's gonna be easy because I'm just gonna copy and paste the old script. But then I'm just gonna cast actors who are relevant in 10 years.
And we'll do a multiverse. Like in the multiverse, there's a Titanic didn't sink.
No, in my Titanic, it's gonna be like Godzilla. It's gonna be a crossover.
It's a pirate ship.
It's gonna be it's gonna have Captain Jack Sparrow piloting it, or Captain
Bill Pullman as the president from Independence Day.
And Godzilla's gonna be the iceberg.
Godzilla is an iceberg.
Love it. Shoot it. Run it.
It's it is what it is. It happens. I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. It's my shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay up. You guys just tell me if I'm in camera.
Oh, you're gonna have to like jump or get on a stool or.
Oh yes. Honestly, looks like Andy Hartley.
Well, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead.
It does a little.
We'll go ahead and post a bigger picture if this one doesn't look good.
I love you, Andy. Thank you.
It in.
Thank you for having me on your show.
So the story behind this shirt is a lady I work with. This is a picture of somebody I work with, and a lady I work with got all these shirts printed like the night before we were going to go to Wiener Wednesday at Hungry Charlie's.
Hashtag Wiener Wednesday.
Hashtag Wiener Wednesday. Go there if you get a chance. But she got them for everyone but him. And so like our maintenance crew and our office people all had him on. And so we go there and we invite him, and he shows up, and we're all there with these shirts on for Wiener Wednesday. And he is as mortified as he is, not very outwardly emotional, but it was just very fun to explain. Like all of us got to explain to the people at the counter, like, this is him.
And the fun part is that that this was done for a joke on one day, but the best part is you still have the fucking shirt.
I know, and I could still wear it for Wiener Wednesday. Luke, that's his name. But you guys should tell. I think this is a very funny idea, and then anyone in the audience that online wants to comment and tell me if it's a good idea or probably a bad one, I think we should get these made with his face and his permission, of course, and then add shower beers to it somewhere, and this would be like one of our shirts.
I would take it. It feels a little like Trace Adkins.
I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy one.
I don't know why.
We could even take the Wiener Wednesday off and just put shower beers, and it'll just keep everyone guessing.
It gives me 90s country cover album vibes.
90s countries,
I don't know why, but it does.
like the Soviet Union.
The 90s country.
90s country for sure.
They were a 90s country.
They
So
were.
was Tibet.
Yeah.
Ah.
And what's the other one? Burma? Or Myanmar? I don't know when they became they just switched names. They didn't really become anything.
Valid. But yeah, shit. Do we have any other like topics? Because like we were talking about the nerd stuff for a while. Because like,
Well, yeah, we do have one more nerd topic we could add in. It's Summer brought up the Umbrella Academy.
what is the Umbrella Academy?
It's sort of like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but they're kids and they have
They're kids.
weird superpowers, and they like grew up.
Summer,
together.
you're just.
They're all
Let
brothers.
me tell ya.
They view each other as like brother and sister.
Their brother and sister. Okay. Randomly, one time in history, in the Umbrella Academy universe, a bunch of women got randomly pregnant for some reason on this one day, and they all gave birth in these random places. And one scientist named something Hargreaves adopted all of those babies because he thought they were special, and then he raised them to be a special superhero team.
Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little bit. And he raised them, and as they became older, they all like found out their own identities, and then they didn't want to be superheroes, and some of them did, and then he did some experiments on some of them that made them so like they couldn't be here, so they had to hide them on the planet Moon.
The planet Moon.
The planet Moon.
The planet Moon, and as adults anyways, they become like buddies and friends, and they have to work together to save the world, even if they don't want to, because their existence
Well, yeah, they live here.
pretty much is constantly ruining the world. Their existence is ruining the world, and they're trying to save themselves and the world, so it's just constantly just the same story over and over again.
So now that we've got the
Right.
show summarized in its entirety, what are the-
Summarized.
Summarized.
So the question. So this will maybe a shorter conversation because Oliver hasn't seen the show at all. Is that correct? I have seen everything but the most recent season that came out like 3 days ago.
And I have seen the most recent season.
Summer hasn't seen. So Summer,
I've
what's
seen
your
it
hot
all.
take on the newest season?
Disappointed.
That's pretty hot.
Disappointed.
Calm down over there.
I was super sad.
She's not mad, just disappointed.
What was
Yeah.
disappointing about it without giving too many spoilers?
One of the main characters has changed a lot, and so that was just super different and felt like a complete new character that just didn't seem to fit the story. And then the story that was left over, it just felt like, oh, that's what you came up with to tie this all together in the end? Is that?
Which sucks. And I might be incorrect. Is this the last season?
It's the last season. This is it.
That always sucks because like there are so many shows that they just go on too long to where
Right.
they just start sucking and they go on
Yeah.
for several seasons longer than they should.
Right. No,
Like-
that's true.
It
I
took
mean-
so much time in between seasons as well to come out with the
Yeah,
next
because when did the
season.
last season? Was it like 2 years ago that it came out?
It was at least 2, if not 3.
That was for, I
years
thought it was
ago.
just done. Like I just gave up on waiting for it because I was like, all right, well, I guess it's probably just done.
Rick
That's
and Morty
how I
did that
felt
to
as
me.
well.
Rick and Morty did that to
Mhm.
me. To where like there'd be like some long breaks between like the seasons and episodes sometimes, or like shows that are like known for going like longer than they should have, like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's okay.
The Simpsons, like up through 8 seasons, was
Right.
very good. Season 10 is like where they started to be really bad, and they're like on season like 80 now. It's very bad.
And I'll bring up South Park because they have success. Like they've had some lulls in their seasons,
They've definitely,
but they have just kept like
South Park's
It's-
lows are nowhere near as low as
No.
other series.
their lulls are just like whatever. This you could just tell this is a bullshit episode.
Something that is a bad South Park episode is still better than an okay modern Simpsons episode.
Oh,
Right.
really?
They keep staying relevant, but then like grounded in their core. Like they haven't caved at their like being more
Right. I will say
I guess,
there was
with
still
their
a golden
content
era of South Park.
Yeah, they're really killing it.
Just like Family Guy had like a really, really classic few seasons, and then like after a while, between the animation going down a lot, between the writing getting super lazy, Seth MacFarlane kind of seems like he just enjoys the sound of his own voice and the smell of his own farts.
I think a
Well,
little
it does
bit.
seem like it's gotten progressively more about his opinion
About his farts.
About
and his farts.
Eventually,
a lot of the
it's gonna be
episodes
an
are about Seth.
episode all of farts.
It's just farts. No words. It's just
No
they
words.
open their mouths, just fart sounds.
Just farts.
But yeah, no, I mean,
No words, just
sometimes
farts.
that's what it's like though when they are a little bit heavy-handed with. Even if I'm just like, even if I agree with any of the points that he's trying to make, if you're making a point that is obnoxious, even if I agree with it, it's still obnoxious. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you need to have the South Park effect where they go, their obnoxious is so much further than anyone would go, to where it's still funny. Like, it's hilarious.
Well, it's because
like,
you can tell that like
it's not
the joke,
pretentious though. Like
you can tell with South Park that the number one thing is entertaining. Their number one priority is entertaining. Where Seth MacFarlane kind of uses the platform to be preachy.
He does come off a little pretentious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, basically half of or 90% of like what Brian the dog says is usually just like
his opinion.
super eye roll for me. And again, even if I like minorly agree with some of like it, I'm just like, this is not the time, the place, or the presentation.
Right.
And also too, the not South Park, Family Guy had this really awful episode where they were locked in the bank vault. Do you know about this episode?
No.
So they were trying
I
to
don't.
kind of copy, oh God, what do they call it? A TV show when there's an episode where they don't leave a certain room. There's a thing that they call it. There's a thing in Breaking Bad where they've spent the whole thing in a basement trying to swat a fly.
Oh.
But so basically, they have a thing where Stewie and Brian are literally in a bank vault to where the setting doesn't change. They're not moving from scene to scene. There's no time jumps, and it's focusing just clearly on the characters and the conversation to move it along. And Brian and Stewie, like they were really trying to like have some meaning and be artistic, but it's so fucking pretentious.
Well, it's
because,
not
like,
what I watched that show for.
No shit. No. Here's I don't, maybe this will sound familiar because like they're in a bank vault, and it's because like Brian's like going to the safety deposit box, and like Stewie's like, "What do you keep in here, Brian?" And Brian's like, "A gun." He's like, "What do you need a gun for?" And Brian's like, "In case I want to kill myself." And like they're trying to go like dark with it. No, they're trying. It's like again, this is not like what you're watching Family.
Right, and that's I mean, if you want that to be something that you create, just create something else.
Well, no, and like even the characters like are like, wow, that's deep. That's so deep, and it's like, oh my god, the characters are even like feeding into the.
Have you guys seen A Million Ways to Die in the West? Something like that.
It's okay.
It's a harmless movie, but it also sucks.
I was gonna say it certainly gives off the pretentious energy, but it's funny.
The funniest part of that movie to me,
Seth MacFarlane is just not a leading man. He's just not a main character.
I laughed so hard at the part where his dad farts, and he farts, and he's like, "Ow! That one came out my penis." And that part, the first time I heard it, I cried. So like that, it just kind of hits you the right way, and you're like, I was not expecting him to say penis.
No, don't remember that, but that's really funny.
Yeah, because you don't even really see it. You see the mom and dad like once, but there's like someone came to the door, and he's answering the door, Seth MacFarlane's character. And then just in the background, you hear the fart noise, and he's like, "Ow! That one came out my penis."
So I will say about Seth MacFarlane, I think that Family Guy is like a tired thing. All of the characters are really boring, and I feel like what happens with a lot of characters in TV shows that go on too long is they all lose what made them original, and they all just become assholes.
Yeah.
Like originally, I think I saw like a picture once that kind of labeled like when the show started, Peter was a dumb but lovable dad. Chris was a teenager. Stewie was an evil baby. Lois was, mom. And then slowly but surely, they all just kind of became assholes. Yeah. Like they all just became sarcastic assholes. Like they all lost any semblance.
Yeah, I think that's just. I think some of that comes to is like if the creators are more in the public eye and involved in more things, they may have a tendency to add their frustrations into it. Where like
they probably resent the show at this point,
right? And we're Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they're not like they've had I'm sure they're involved in a lot, but like their big thing is South Park. Like that's their thing, and I'm sure that's mostly what they focus on. And you really don't see them in the public eye a whole lot.
No.
I did hear a rumor that they're doing a movie that's supposed to come out.
Nice.
Either start production or come out.
Basketball.
Basketball is one of my favorite.
America.
I made Courtney watch basketball, and she loved it. She said it was probably top.
It's a funny movie. I was skeptical when I saw it.
They're funny. They're funny guys, and but there's it's either a movie or musical because the Book of Mormon is theirs.
Yep,
which I've seen,
musical.
which was
that.
great. I'm not a musical person. I
Very
don't
good.
really like musicals. I loved that one.
Very good.
Yeah, no. But I will say about Seth MacFarlane, American Dad is pretty all right. American Dad is pretty all right.
I like that.
And
that's kind of what I meant earlier. Was like if you have an opinion or you want to be more emotional or have something that's more serious, don't use a show that has never had that before. Like create something else. Like I'm sure he has the capital and the wherewithal to do it.
Right.
Like
if
make
he
a show
wants to be
that
preachy,
you can
but-
express those things on.
Oh, and then also the Orville. That's another.
I love the
that's
Orville.
set in the Star Trek universe.
I love.
Oh wait, no, actually, it's in its own, or is it? Star Trek?
It's Star Trek. Yeah, because
Okay.
he's a big Star Trek fan.
Well, and then he also, I think that he directs the Lower Deck cartoon. I think
could be. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, the Lower Deck. Like, yeah, no, he's got a couple Star Trek.
The Orville is. I love it. I love the Orville. I've watched every episode, and
I've clipped a lot of it. I haven't sat down and watched.
It's good. It's good. It has the Star Trek feel. Like he did a very good job, but also it's more comedy.
Have you seen the Ted movies or the Ted miniseries?
Both. Yeah.
I like the Ted movies. Yeah.
Ted movies are good.
Because the first one had Mila Kunis, and the second one,
Yes.
I don't know what happened with. So they got somebody else.
They switched the lady.
Yeah.
And I really like that actress.
It was a
She's
blonde
Right.
lady, right?
Yeah.
Blonde.
You know what's funny is
and the running joke is that she's not attractive in that movie because they keep on saying that she looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Jesus. She was probably gorgeous.
Yeah, no,
I'm
because
sure.
she says in the movie, "Do I have fuck me eyes?" And then I think that Ted says, "No, you have give me the ring, my precious eyes."
Oh my god.
I will say, God, I lost my train of thought. Please keep talking about that.
You're allowed. We're not professionals on a recorded, podcast or anything.
No, not at all.
My favorite part of the Million Ways to Die in the West, the MacFarlane movie or whatever. Charlize Theron puts this daisy in Liam Neeson's butt crack, and I just love that so much. She's and put them in his butt crack.
I feel like if you were like, what is my favorite scene from the movie?
Yeah, no,
I could
would
have
love
guessed that one.
I would love to think that there was a writer who's just like, no, trust me, this will be somebody's favorite scene
This
when
is
we
gonna
do
be
this.
somebody's
Yeah.
favorite.
Because they were
scene.
like, dude, are we sure that we want to have this in the movie? And they're
Right.
like, dude, this will be someone's favorite part.
It made me so happy. I love Charlize.
Such good input.
Thanks for putting
any
that
other
in.
person putting it in any other person's butt cracked. It had to be Liam Neeson.
Yeah, it'd be
Those
weird if Liam
two
Neeson was
badass
putting it in her
people.
butt and
Yeah,
Charlie's butt
exactly.
crack.
Yeah.
No, Liam Neeson also cameos in the first Ted movie where he's buying the Lucky Charms.
Oh, he's
no,
in
the
grocery,
tricks. He's buying the tricks.
the grocery store. Yeah.
So they must be friends. Liam and Seth must be friends.
I mean, he's definitely
Friend
yeah.
of the show.
I mean, I'm assuming they've got a working relationship when they need a quick cameo or
Right.
something. That
Yeah.
They must.
Do you guys want to? I have a word from our sponsor.
a word from the sponsor.
Yes, our sponsor for today is.
Be sure to put on your commercial voice.
Introducing the future of comfort, self-buttoning pants. Say goodbye to the hassle of getting dressed and hello to the effortless style of our revolutionary self-buttoning pants. Whether you're rushing out the door or just craving a hands-free dressing experience, these pants have got you covered. Literally. Features automatic dressing. With just a tap, these pants effortlessly slide into place and button themselves up, giving you more time to enjoy your day. Custom Fit, our innovative technology, adapts to your body shape for a perfect fit every time. No more adjusting or fussing. I do make a lot of fussing when I put my pants on.
like I am all fuss. Fuss and muss.
Smart fabric, breathable, stretchable material ensures comfort and flexibility, while the smart sensors adjust to fit based on your movements. That's for the wiener. Eco-friendly, made from sustainable materials, these pants are as good for the planet as they are for you. Perfect for busy mornings when time is of the essence. Hands-free convenience for parents and professionals.
I would love it if these were unbuttoning pants. So you could take somebody else's remote and be like,
people are gonna start hacking those pants. Like,
you hack the pants.
Yeah,
off with their
pants.
Pants.
Whatever to the next gen that gets these pants, their sex experience is gonna be way different.
My God.
Yeah, aren't they all?
Oh, man. Anyone who loves high-tech innovation and ultimate comfort, get ready to experience the future of fashion with self-buttoning pants. Just slip them on and let technology do the rest.
Wow.
Embrace effortless style and make every day a breeze. Available in various colors, sizes. Don't wait. Upgrade your wardrobe with the convenience of tomorrow.
Woo!
Self-buttoning pants.
Self-buttoning pants. Thank you, self-buttoning pants.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish they'd come up with a better name.
Yeah, no.
It's always a little.
It's very on the nose.
It's very. Yeah, they need a one-word thing for their pants.
We should probably have the AI come up with a brand name for self-buttoning pants.
Self-buttoning pants.
We're patenting all of our sponsors, so everyone will know that this was a Shower Beers sponsor. Clickety clack, clack, clack.
Okay.
There we go.
Our sponsors have decided to change their name to Auto Fit Pants.
Oh, Auto Fit Pants. Go ahead and go online and find yourself a pair of Auto Fit Pants.
They have a question. Would you rather they be Auto Fit Pants or Snap Ease Pants?
Ooh, Snap Ease.
The word Snap Ease is spelled out like ease, but I think if they just put a dash and then E, Snappy Pants, that could work.
Okay.
Snappy Pants.
Snappy Pants.
Thank you, Snappy. Thank you, Snappy Pants, for your suggestions. Summer, you seem like you got something to say. You're standing.
I want to take.
Summer is giving Snappy Pants a standing ovation.
Yeah, no,
Snappy Pants.
Yay, Snappy Pants.
Yeah, she's gonna demonstrate right now.
It'd be funny if you could do it from across the room, though. Like if they were over by the, by the dartboard over there, and you just
oh my God,
get your app out and be like, I need pants now.
I need pants right now.
Be like
very Iron Man.
Like all right, we're back. We're probably going to wrap up here in a little bit.
Bladders have been emptied. We are ready to roll.
Hey, I'm going to say this right now, though. Anybody that's listening, please send us questions, comments, critiques. Nothing negative, though, because I don't want to feel bad.
Nah, tell us we suck. Bully us so we can be better.
Yeah, that's true. Bully us so that we can show our lady boners.
Tell us what you think of the new stage being in front of the windows.
Yeah.
We know it's a little bit brighter. It might be a little bit darker in front, but we have big plans for possibly other set things later.
Right, yeah.
Provided by our budget or the Loft. So
Which,
by the way, thank you for the Loft for letting us use their space.
Thank you, Loft, for letting us be up here today.
Thank you.
They lend us this time so that we can create
huge
content for you.
Performers, comedy, the arts, the community. They do.
You really couldn't ask for a better place to do a show.
Yeah. So we're super thrilled with the Loft for having us here and supporting
Absolutely,
us. Yeah. What do we want to end with for kind of a little bit of a?
I think we had discussed maybe get some hype on some new jokes. We all are changing our material. That we're doing a lot of open mics. Some of it's jokes that people have heard. Maybe we decided this is what it needs. or we have something new that we're real excited about that we want to talk about it on a surface level, so we don't totally give it away, but maybe make people want to come see us actually do the joke.
I've got 2 jokes that I'm definitely excited about right now. Okay. Two of which I think I did both on Friday, and both are jokes that kind of came from this podcast.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, like, again, some of the riffing with other comedians has led to the Subway versus Quiznos bit.
That's a good one.
That conversation went really well. It led to a really good joke. Or it's a joke that I like. It's nowhere near done. Like it's one of those jokes where I feel like the beginning is there, the middle is there.
It's got a very solid foundation.
I would love to have a better ending. That's like where I want that joke to be. And then the other one is the sound check. I often would do like Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonations. And then that has found its way into a set where like a few weeks ago when we were in Mason City, I was just like, I kind of want to turn that mic check thing that I do for the podcast into a bit. Like I want to do that like on stage. And then I found a bit to do that where I talk about drinking at home. And I just kind of paint a picture and I talk like Stone Cold Steve Austin during that joke. And those are both like jokes that would not have existed without the podcast.
Right.
And I did both, and both went well for me doing new material on a paid show.
Right. Yeah. Those have been doing well.
Good.
Summer?
I love your joke that you're talking about because it goes from like what to like what. Anyways, come to a show, find out what we're talking about.
Give us your money.
Summer, you got some adjustments you've made.
We will be funny.
I'm gonna talk about something else. Okay, yeah, sure. I have a new addition to something that I made, but also I have a new joke about sneaky links.
What is sneaky links?
That's the problem. Is not enough people know what a sneaky link is, but a sneaky
like a sneaky cat.
No,
that's a lynx.
Sneaky links.
Lynxes are super cute, but no, just a sneaky
Except
link.
when they're sneaky.
Yeah.
Just a sneaky link, and that's somebody who you hook up with on the side, like a side chick. And I'm like, I had my first sneaky link. It was super fun at first, and then they asked me for money, and then I got a virus. So don't click any links that say, "Hey, hot singles in your area."
Yeah,
a link. I get
a sneaky link.
There.
Come to a show.
Come see Summer talk about sneaky links.
That's what I got.
No, that is a good job. I like that, but it is true. Not enough people know.
Yeah, no, the terminology is going to be
there's Summer's for sure. Just sneaky link awareness.
Sneaky link awareness.
Be aware of sneaky links.
Yes.
It's also a bit of a tongue twister, a little bit like sneaky link.
It's a little hard.
If that's not something that you can mumble and like have anybody know. Sneaky link, like that, like sneaky link.
You have to slow down and really.
You have to have very proper diction for people to.
You have to have very good diction for the sneaky link. Mm-hmm.
Sneaky link. Yeah.
I would say of the newer stuff that I've done. Probably the joke about owning a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun.
That one has been very consistent.
So it's weird because with that joke, I feel like you would unprepare the audience and then to a degree like, okay, maybe have them be prepared. I feel like to a degree in most recent tellings, you're over preparing them. Like,
yeah, it's
whether it's bogging down the pace or whether it's making them think that it's going to be much worse than it is. So, because the joke ends, it's a very funny concept. I feel like if you warn the audience a little bit less about how bad the joke is going to be, they're not because they're expecting it to be way worse than it turns out to be. Sure.
I would probably be better off over warning them for the lesbian porn joke. But no, I think the best way I've done it is I warn them after I get about halfway. Like right before I say, I'm not going to say what I say because you're going to have to see a show. But the part where it does get funky, like when I've warned them right before that, and it's just a light warning, like stay with me.
I was going to say, like kind of breeze past that. Like if you can make the warning super quick, so that way the thing that is where it turns like it might be fucked up. Like if you can,
right?
like,
Or if
so
I do,
stay with me, but I want to, and then you just like
Yeah.
kind of roll past it. You don't want you want to treat it as a yield sign, not a stop sign.
right?
That's how I would say that you'd want to
Right.
do
That makes
for
a
the
lot
tempo.
of sense. The only way I've thought about doing it differently is actually saying we'll just call it the big reveal, and then doing a short warning.
I like the order because one of the other times where you changed the order on the Passion of the Christ joke,
Yeah.
and then I thought that the reorder didn't work.
No, it wasn't bad. Like,
Well, it's
I think
because
the
the
joke
intro
did a-
on it is so funny. And
Yeah,
and
I do the-
if you do the order different.
yeah, because it's sort of the shock and awe thing.
It's a little bit of just a random where that come from after a long pause where we have
Right.
an introduction to the joke. Again, we're being vague for the audience. Find out what we're talking
Yeah,
about. Like
come
going
to
our
a show.
shows. Speaking of shows, when do we have any of those?
Well, we have open mics coming up. Not just the one here at the Loft. There is,
and that is the last Wednesday of every month.
last
yes?
Wednesday of the month, and then there is, if you want to see us, because we
I'll be
mostly come to
there.
that one, and then we go to the Octopus. I think all three of us go to
Octopus
that one
open
pretty
mic.
much every time. And
That
then
third Wednesday of every month.
third Wednesday of every month, and then if you're in the Mason City area or wanna be,
Third Thursday of every
third
month.
Thursday of every month.
Double.
I know Summer's gone.
Mhm.
Oliver and I have gone like the past 2 or 3 months.
We've made the trip a few times because it's 2 mics in one
Right.
night. So we
Yes.
can go up at Bricks in Mason City, then we cross the street and go to Laredo's.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, we get 2 for 1. They have the pizza mic now, which is the fourth Monday of the month.
Yeah, and that one's fun.
And
That's a fun
also
one too.
Mason. Every Tuesday in Lucky Cat at
Every
was it
Tuesday?
First State Brewing or what is it called?
Iowa
Iowa Brewing
Brewing
Company.
Company.
Yep.
Iowa Brewing Company.
Yeah. So those are all opportunities to see us kind of work out, see some funky stuff, and then I
Those
know
are free mics watching us work out the material like we're talking about.
we have stuff in the works. I know for sure. I am on a show in Iowa Falls on the
Yes.
31st of August, which I get to be with a great group of comedians. Megan Ellis, Tim Overton,
Love Megan. Love
and then Tom
him.
Garland is
Oh.
headlining, so that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And that's put on by
Mr. Effrey.
Mr. Effrey, Mr. Jeffrey
Mr.
Effrey.
Jeffrey.
He's been a guest on the show already.
Yeah.
We'll
Perhaps
probably have
you've
him
seen
back.
his
We'll probably
Hannah
have him back.
Montana guitar.
Yeah, that'll be a fun show. And then also next weekend, I don't know if you're going for sure, but
this Saturday, yeah, we'll see. We've got a few things in the air, but there's a competition/open mic.
this trophy right here, Summer won the last time they had this. It's the golden trophy.
You're doing great.
And that'll be happening. So they do it a little bit differently. It's still an open mic. They'll have music after the comedy, but there's a bit of an interview after every set, so they get to talk to you and sort of like Kill Tony, but
Yeah.
hopefully a little lighter this time.
That's when you really gotta make your light shine and just
Right.
talk super hard shit on the
Yeah.
other
She's-
competitors so that you win. Yeah.
I will be honest. You did have a great set. I'm not going to take that away from you, but I think Jordan really helped you push it over the edge.
Fuck you.
It's not
Fuck
his. He
Jordan.
didn't do it. He didn't do anything. He just cheered you on, and then people acknowledged him,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, "They're both funny."
I say I won't
But
lie.
I'm not
You're
going to take. You had.
the one that said that.
I'm not. I don't want to take away from you. You had a great set. Like I was deserving of
We're a
a
great
win.
team. We're a great
Deserving of a
team.
win, but way to play the crowd, Summer.
Yeah.
You got to get a Jordan or a Courtney behind
just
you.
so you know, get to a show if you want to see your friends who are comedians succeed. Go to their shows, go to their shit because it means a lot. It can make a huge difference in how a crowd can react.
The show we just had at Cooper's,
Yeah,
not that long ago. I had some people that haven't been to one of the shows yet, and they were there, and they were like, "That was so
It was so good.
funny." Like they absolutely were, and I have gotten this reaction more than once. They're like, "I didn't realize that local comedy was this good."
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it
Because
didn't
they're
used to
expecting
be.
it right, and I'm
I
sure
know.
they and they're just not, because most people just think of comedy as like the big names, but it's like, well, they were doing this once too.
Right.
So that was super positive to hear.
But yeah,
about our area.
But in terms of like shows, paid shows, those kinds of gigs, I think that my calendar's pretty clear and open until October.
I feel like you and then me, whether I'm putting a show on or so, there's always something in the works.
Yeah, no, there's things in the works, and then there are things that crop up last second.
Right.
There are some shows that I found out about recently, like on the day of, where I just
right,
make the quick hike over.
So, all right, Summer, you got anything you want to add?
No.
No.
Summer is ready to go.
We're eating Mexican
She's still
food
very
after
mad
this.
about the thing when I brought up Jordan just now. I could tell that's
I'm
what
so bitter.
she's gonna call me later and be like, "You motherfucker."
I'm the one that came up with the jokes.
We're eating
I'm
Carlos
not.
O'Kelly's
I didn't.
after
I'm
this.
not. We are.
Not sponsored.
I'm not taking your set away from you, Summer. You deserved to win. You had a
Jordan's
great.
gonna be on
You
sometime.
had a great set,
Yeah, we'll bring him on.
but I know it sealed the deal.
It helped. It helped. I knew how to utilize
Here's
the
the thing.
audience to support
that
Jordan.
was a great
to
thing.
support
Like,
me.
that's a quality in itself of being able to utilize.
Read the crowd.
Yes, no, like that's very smart. It was smart. I'm not knocking you for it, but
You're just jealous because you don't know how to utilize
I don't know what I have to do to
Like how you
Jordan to
utilize
get him to
Jordan.
cheer for me. But
You have a big dick, and Courtney just doesn't.
all right. I think we're probably done. I know that Oliver is done. All right, thank you for watching Shower Beers. We're a bunch of shower beerers.
Yeah. Cheers, shower beers.
Thank you.
Go home.
Go home.